Countdown from the crowd. As we go, I'll give you a beginner's guide to sitting volleyball. But you can see Morocco in the red, and it's Russia in the white and blue and red. Allowed 3 touches either side, and no player may touch the ball twice in a row. Morocco winning the first point. You'll also notice that one player on each team has a different coloured shirt, and that's because they're the libero, the defensive specialist. So the Moroccans pumped up for this one, yet to win a game. At London 2012, Russians will be favourites in this, but Morocco leading 2-0 at the moment. And that's long. Serve to Russia, 2-1 down. And that's what you call a spike. And that scores the winning point for Russia. So sitting volleyball emerged in Netherlands in the 1950s. It's a combination of volleyball and a German game called Sitzball. Point to Russia. And that's a great block at the net. Sail As from Morocco, blocking at the net there. But Russia leading 4-2. Now this time the Russian blocked it, but it's gone out, so that's the point to Morocco, 4-3. It's the best of 5 sets in Paralympic sitting volleyball. Play up to 25 points for a set. And the 5th set, should it happen, is up to 15. 5-4 to Morocco. And the Moroccans very vocal because they're very much the underdogs in this. Russia, the red-hot favourites to win this one, but Morocco leading the first set at the moment 6-4. Best of 5. And we play up to 25 points. Best rally so far. This is a great rally. Longest rally of the match so far. Morocco just losing out at the end, ball going wide. But they'll be delighted with this start, the Moroccans. Blocked at the net, but it's gone out. Point to Russia, 6-all. Moroccan celebrating, but the Russian block was successful, 7-6. Players must maintain contact between the floor and a part of their body at all times, and the part of the body has to be between the buttocks and the shoulder, so they can't suddenly jump up. And sitting volleyball open to all physical impairment groups, but they must remain sitting. So the Moroccans right back in this, 7-all. Clever little spike there. And it's a timeout. And you'll see the cleaners come on and just wipe up any sweat from the floor. Both teams go to their coaches. No power at all in that winning smash. It was very much a dink, fooling the player at the net. Sitting volleyball court measures 10 metres by 6 metres. The net height's 115 centimetres in the men's game, slightly lower in the women's game, 105 centimetres. And the Moroccans will be pleased with their start. They've been leading for much of this first set. Russia just taking the lead for the first time, 7-6. Familiar sound of Queen's We Will Rock You, greeting this crowd here at Excel, who've really been enjoying the sitting volleyball at London 2012. Russia to serve. This is a great rally. Russia setting up now. Now, if you're wondering why Russia won that point, the judge indicating that the Moroccan lifted off the ground. Point again to Russia. And at 11-7, the Russians now beginning to show their advantage. Yet to lose at London 2012. So another timeout, this time Morocco have called it. Six players on court at any time. And the libero, the defensive specialist, always wears a different coloured shirt to the rest of the team. 5 reserves are allowed. I'm sure we'll see the reserves being used. It's very much a squad game. And the squads are 11, so 6 on the court at any time, 5 on the bench. Some Danish fans there. The announcer just getting the crowd going. It appears to be about equal support for the Russians and the Moroccans. And the Danes were just happy to be on telly, I think. That's a great defensive block. Oh. Point to Russia. Moroccans defending well there, but just losing out. 13-7. Moroccan just debating, should he have left that? Would it have gone out at the back? I think he was right to take it, but couldn't control it. (14-7), it's up to 25 this first set. All the sets up to 25, apart from the last one, if needed, is almost like a tiebreaker. It's just up to 15. So Morocco have won the serve back. They need to get some points back. Russians getting a long way ahead now. But Russia straight away the advantage again. They've won the serve back. They lead 15-8. This is the opening set from the London 2012 Paralympic Games. Russia against Morocco. And as expected, the Russians leading. Point to Morocco. Hard 1 point, 15-9. So the service back with Morocco, but the previous serves haven't lasted very long before the Russians get it back. This is better. Hit the top of the net. Did anyone touch it? It's out, and that's a point to Russia. (16-9). They'll have a quick wipe down of the floor. And they'll be back on very shortly. So the sitting volleyball, just one of the events taking place at the XL Arena in London. If you're not familiar with London, it's a big exhibition centre just next to London City Airport, which is the small airport very near the financial centre of London in the Docklands. And it's the home to the boccia, the judo, powerlifting, table tennis, the sitting volleyball, and also the wheelchair fencing. And if you watch the Olympic Games from London, it's also where the boxing took place, the XL Arena. And you can see the crowd, very, very impressive crowds for the whole of the Paralympics. And the kids enjoying Queen. Well, they need to work on their timing a bit. They were getting the hang of it towards the end. Right, we're back in action, 16-9 to Russia. Moroccans are judged to have come over the net there. Referee just indicating a slightly whimsical look on his face when they complained. 18-9 to Russia. That's a great dig. Great defending there by Morocco, but in the end the Russians just too strong. 19-9 they lead now. Russians getting nearer and nearer to the 25 they need to take this first set. Morocco just querying some of the referee's decisions. But it all seems to have been sorted out. Alexei Volkov to serve for Russia. So Morocco 10 points behind. Their liberos coming off. And Russia also making a substitution. The Russians so strong at the attacking form of the game. And straight away the libero, the defensive specialist, coming back for Morocco. He's allowed to come on and off as many times as he wants, and to make sure the ref is aware of who is the libero, the one that's allowed to make unlimited substitutions. He wears the different colour shirt. Very funky music they're playing in the XL Arena to keep everyone happy during the breaks in play. The Moroccans delighted with that. Huge block from the libero, Abdullafi, Rashid Abdullafi. Oh, and Abdullafi this time just can't get to it. He's an immense player for the Moroccan team, the libero. This is the fourth game for Morocco in this tournament. They lost their opening game to Egypt 3-0, then they lost to Germany 3-0 and to Great Britain 3-0. So they've yet to win a set, and I'm not sure they're going to get one against the Russians. Point to Morocco. So you'll notice the same player on the Moroccan side touched the ball twice there, but it was legal because in between a different player touched the ball. You can't touch the ball twice in succession. There has to be somebody else in between. 3 touches either side of the net. Just the power of the Russian spike there, even though the Moroccan blocked it, couldn't get any direction on it. So 24-13, it's set point to Russia. They just need to get one more point to win this opening set. Morocco digging that out, fighting to get back into it, but there it is. Opening set to Russia by 25 points to 13. Almost looked like someone had knocked our camera over there. 25-13 then, Russia taking the opening set at the men's sitting volleyball.
Now it's starting to get interactive again. We're going to send a Mexican wave that way across all 4 sides of the XL. Now the record, ladies and gentlemen.
So while we're seeing the replay, the announcer here in the arena is urging a Mexican wave. Mexican wave invented in Mexico, not surprisingly, at the World Cup, and now popular at all sporting events around the world. There's the wave, look at that going round. I was in the Olympic Stadium just a few days ago taking part in a Mexican wave myself. It's an exhilarating experience. And it gets all around the arena, gets the crowd excited. Ten teams taking part in the men's tournament here at London 2012. And they play a round robin, which means everyone plays each other in a league system in 2 pools of 5. So 4 matches for each team. This is the last match for Morocco. And they've yet to win any, yet to take a set in actual fact. But those chaps don't mind, they brought their flag and they're going to enjoy it. There goes the Mexican wave, look at that. What a wonderful sight. I do encourage you, if you ever are in a stadium, do try and get a Mexican wave going. It's very exhilarating. So the top 4 teams from each pool will go through. In other words, just 1 team eliminated from Pool A and Pool B. And of those 8, they will then play quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then a final. And the 2 losers from each pool will play for 9th and 10th place. At the moment, Morocco expected to be one of those. So the players coming back for set 2. Russians taking the first one. And we're underway again. Savicev to serve for Russia. And the big libero Abdullafi putting that ball out. 1-0. Great last-minute dig out there by Morocco. Oh. Now it hit the net, but they managed to get it back up before it hit the ground, so that's legal. That's a great determined effort from Morocco. They were second favourites all the way through that rally, but somehow they managed to get the point. I don't know what the Moroccan coach said at the break, but they've certainly fired up for this one. Enormous power in that drive. So if you're slightly puzzled as to why the Moroccans won that, it looked like the Russians blocked it, but they lifted up, and you have to always keep a part of your body between your buttocks and your shoulders on the floor. And obviously the temptation when you're blocking is to rise up. If your buttock comes away from the floor, then you've lost the point, and the Moroccans have won it again. They started the first set very well. They're starting the second set as well. Point to Russia. Just couldn't get the ball out, the Moroccans there. Lovely rally. So 4-all as the Moroccan libero leaves the field. Good block. Oh, it's gone out. Moroccans work hard there, but Russians have won it. And the Russians just easing ahead now as they did in the opening set. Russians taking advantage of a timeout just to discuss tactics. They look to be well in control of this match, to be honest. The Moroccans having some good spells, but They really have to raise their game every time to win a point, whereas the Russians just seem to be in control. Well, there's no doubt the most popular song in the arena is Queen's We Will Rock You. Two people going for the same ball. It seemed to work, and that's a great winning point for Morocco. Every time the Moroccans get control back, get the serve, they only seem to get one serve before the Russians are back in it. Gordienko from Russia likes to serve from a long way behind the line. (10-5) to Russia. Second set. Russia won the first set. It's the best of 5 sets, up to 25 in each set, and if necessary the last one up to 15. So 12-6 Russia lead in the second set. Watching live sitting volleyball from the Paralympics at London 2012. The 9th time it's been included in the Paralympics. And one of the most popular sports for spectators. But they're not seeing a particularly close game here. The Russians well on top. And this will be the last pool game. And Morocco have yet to win a pool game. In fact, they've yet to win a set. So they're heading for the 9th and 10th place playoff. Whereas Russia will be one of the strong teams going through to the knockout stages. It'd be good to see if Morocco could win a set. But I have to say, I think it's unlikely. So you can see the Russians 5 out of 22 successful blocks, the Moroccans 3 out of 17. Russian tracksuits amongst the most popular at the Paralympic Games. Often you see people from different countries swapping tracksuits as souvenirs, and the Russian tracksuit's one of the most sought after ones. Very colourful design, red and white. So the Moroccans making a substitution. We're ready to be underway again. 16-6 Russia lead. Ref just indicating that the blocker lifted up. Spike out the back, so point to Morocco. And they just rotate their players. Morocco trailing 7-17. Instantly, the Russians winning it back. Russians will be one of the strongest teams in this competition. They'll be looking to go all the way. Good serve there from Savichev. Serves a bit closer than Gordienko. Gordienko goes a long way behind the line. Savichev likes to come up close. Frustration there for the Moroccans. They just couldn't get that ball out. So sitting volleyball's increased since the Beijing Paralympics in 2008. There were 8 men's teams there. There's 10 men's teams in London, 8 in the women's competition. Which means for the first time that there's a quarter-final stage after the pool stages, as well as a 9th and 10th place playoff. You just noticed the chap running on there just to wipe a little bit of sweat off the court. What an interesting job that must be. He must look for the bits of sweat and see, can I get on? Yeah, I'll quickly run on, wipe that up and get off. It's a sport invented in the Netherlands in 1956 and really began to increase in popularity from the 60s onwards. 1967 the first international competitions took place. 22-7 then to Russia, 25 they need to win this second set. Savichev hitting it into the net there, so Morocco get the serve back. Point to Russia, 23-8. They just need 2 more points to win this second set. Morocco need to really dig deep here if they're going to avoid going out of the pool stages without winning a set at all. 24-8 to Russia, it's set point. Set point. What can Morocco do? Can they hold off? They can't. They've lost on the first set point. Second set to Russia, 25-8. Russia lead by 2 sets to love. Change ends at the end of every set. 25-13 the first set, 25-8 the second set.
Hello, it's Charles. Welcome back. Are we all enjoying ourselves? Yes. I'm up here with some more of my people. It's a very pumped up atmosphere. Now, earlier on, we asked you guys to tweet in your pictures of excited faces to us with the hashtag, they're very excited, with the hashtag sitting volleyball. You did it, and here's how you look. Let's look with our actual eyes. Check this out. Here we go. Here we go. Let's pump up the music and let's clap our hands, people. Come on. If you see yourself, have a little wave, have a little scream.
So Russia, 15 of this 26 spikes were successful. Just 3 of Morocco's 27 spikes were successful, and that's really the difference. The Moroccans, I think, have defended well, but they just haven't been able to get their spikes in. The spike, the name for the attacking overhead smash, the dig when you're digging it out defensively, just like in Olympic volleyball. I'll just run through some of the differences from the Olympic volleyball to sitting volleyball. Obviously the net's lower, the court's smaller, and the players sit rather than stand. But a few other rules. The players can block and attack the serve, which you can't do in Olympic volleyball. There's 10 teams rather than 12. Women's tournament has 8 teams rather than 12. But other than that, it's pretty much the same sport. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on this international stream. London 2012 Paralympic sitting volleyball. You can also see us on the web at paralympic.org. There's other sports streaming on the web as well. If you want to tweet about the sitting volleyball, just put the hashtag Paralympic in. Say how much you're enjoying the games. Moroccans come out of their huddle, and they have to go into a huddle because it's very loud in the arena during the pauses. First set, Russia won 25-13, second set 25-8, and we're just about to start the third and what I expect will be the final set. But maybe Morocco will prove me wrong. They've yet to win a set in these pool games. It's their last pool game. Can they get one against the mighty Russians, who are strong favourites? Moroccan coming over the net. 2-1 to Russia. Two. As always, Morocco have started well. They've started each set well. If they could just put all their effort into one set, so at least so they can say they went home with the set. Still got the 9th and 10th place playoff to come. 3-3 then. If you're just joining us, you're watching live coverage of the sitting volleyball at London 2012 with me, Jeremy Nicholas. Just a reminder, the players have to keep part of their body on the ground all the time, and that part has to be between the buttock and the shoulder. Otherwise, the referee will signal lifting if they block by jumping too high, and that will be a penalty and they'll lose the point. Once again, the Russians exerting their authority. (5-3) to Russia. Moroccan's much better defensive side than they are offensive. Quite good at winning the serve back, but then they're not so good at actually winning the points once they have the serve. (6-4) to Russia. (7-4). Saw the Moroccan kicking the ball there. He can't do that. And once again, the Russians moving further ahead. That noise that sounds like a car alarm going off indicates it's time for a timeout. So this is one of the events taking place at the Excel Arena, which is just away from the Olympic Park in London's Docklands. The Excel Arena, before it was constructed, the area was a working dock which specialised in tobacco, beef of South America, lamb from New Zealand, citrus fruit and bananas. And the dock was opened by Prince Albert, who was the husband of Queen Victoria, in 1855, and it was the first dock to use hydraulic cranes and lifts to raise ships. Middle of the 20th century, Docklands was the peak of its traffic through, but after a rapid decline, the dock closed in 1981 and London Docklands was redeveloped, and now this Excel Arena is an internationally renowned exhibition centre. And this is where the sitting volleyball's happening at the Paralympics. It's also where the wheelchair fencing takes place in North Arena 2. We're in South Arena 2. And then in some of the other arenas, there's powerlifting, table tennis, judo, and boccia. 8-4 to Russia. So this is scheduled to be the best of 5 sets, but it looks like we'll only get 3. Because Russia look like winning all of them. 13-4 to Russia. Moroccans will make a substitution here. Last desperate attempt to try and win a set. Moroccan still making a fight of it. 14-5 though they trail in this third and what will probably be final set. Gordienko again serving from a long way behind the line. Powerful server. Morocco copes with it. The Russians too strong with the spike.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for the Paralympic Games makers? A fantastic job here at the City Volleyball.
The announcer just calling for a round of applause for the Games makers. Games makers are fantastic people. They're people who volunteered to give up their time to help during the Olympics and the Paralympics. They wear very distinctive uniforms of purple and red with beige trousers. And they've given up their time free, and they've really extended a warm, friendly welcome to the world that's come to these games in our beautiful city. And as a Londoner, I must say I'm very proud of all those games makers. They really have been the real stars, I think.
They are, although they'll be preparing for the next match, both Iran and Bosnia will be have a keen eye on this result. They'll be looking to see the form of Russia because they think they're going against them in the semi-final.
So Dmitry Gordienko out of shot. Camera has to pan to find him. He seems to be getting further and further away with those serves. 16-5 in the third set. The libero for Morocco couldn't get to that. There is Gordienko. (17-5) to Russia. This could all be over in the next 5 minutes. Not sure what the delay is. The Moroccan libero just having a word. The Moroccan coach having a word with the official. Is he wanting a substitution? It's a long discussion. I'm not sure what's holding us up here. Well, we are going to get underway. I'm not sure what that delay was for. Moroccan coach still chatting all the time from the side. 18-8 to Russia. Russian captain does serve eventually. And that's a wild smash and out, 19-8. So it's been an enjoyable game here at the XL Arena in London as sitting volleyball, London 2012 Paralympics. But the Russians proving just too strong for the Moroccans. And they're about to wrap up this third set. 25 points is how many you need. And the Moroccans hanging on, it's 29. But expect in the next 5 minutes or so that Russia will wrap this game up. And they'll be one of the stronger teams going into the knockout tournament. Been a fantastic tournament, London 2012, and the crowd here at the XL Arena really enjoying this game. Savichev serving for Russia. The Moroccans are not giving up. 21-10. Russia at the moment in the overall medal table for the Paralympics are in third place with 17 golds, just behind Great Britain with 19, and the runaway leaders China with 48 golds. Milenin scoring again for Russia. Victor Milenin, he's the second highest rated player for scoring at the moment in the tournament, just ahead of Mohamed Ibrahim of Egypt and just behind Heiko Wiesenthal of Germany. Victor Milenin, though, the key man scoring most of the points. It's the player in the middle there, you see, number 3. Great recovery from the Moroccans. Oh, but that's a decent spike. 23-11. Medal table very interesting at the moment at the Paralympics. I'll run through the top 10 for you. It's China, second Great Britain, third is Russia, then it's Australia, Ukraine, United States, 7th is Germany, 8th Brazil, 9th Iran, and then 10 is France. It's the top 10 overall medalists at the London 2012 Paralympics. So that point means Russia 24-11 in the lead. Just one more point needed for a 3-0 whitewash. And there it is. It's all over, 25-11. Russia have won it. Russia have beaten Morocco by 3 sets to love. The Russians storm through the pool stages. They'll be one of the fancied teams in the knockout stages. 8 teams going through to the knockouts, the quarterfinals, then the semis and the finals at the weekend. Moroccans, though, end the pool stages having lost all of their games 3-0. Yet to win a set. So let's have a look at the stats there. 3-0 it finished to Russia. 36 out of 76 successful spikes for the Russians, but just 13 out of 78 for Morocco. 11 out of 37